Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dealey Plaza groundbreaking. This is the second time in about 3 weeks we've had a dedication or a groundbreaking for a significant project in the downtown area. It's getting difficult because the mayor and my boss, Tom Baker, the president of the park board, have asked us to do this about every 3 or 4 weeks. So we're looking for projects. So if anybody has any idea, we need some help. But we are doing a lot of great things in the downtown area and throughout our city. So it's really gratifying to see a lot of hard work for those of you that have been out here working on this project and others finally coming to fruition. Dealey Plaza is the second national landmark that was designated in the city of Dallas right after Fair Park. So it's a very special place to the city of Dallas. The restoration is in a direct response to our downtown parks master plan. The plan was approved by the park board and adopted by the city council, and we're very proud of this restoration. So we have, again, a very august group here today to tell you about the project. And so without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the mayor of Dallas, Tom Leppard. Mayor.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you, Paul. Well, as Paul said, we're getting out here often, and what that means is we're getting some things done. We owe it to the citizens of Dallas, and I think it's terrific to see so many terrific things that are happening. And this is a great day to celebrate a renewal of this very, very important historic place. Now, for most of the world, Dealey Plaza is tied to a very tragic event. Of course, that was the site where President Kennedy was assassinated back in 1963, and that was a dark and a seminal moment in our nation's past. But what the rest of the world doesn't know is the history that came well before that tragic day in November of '63. It was here in 1841 that John Neely Bryant founded what would become the city of Dallas, Texas. Historians believe that this is the very site where the city's first home, school, courthouse, and fraternal lodge were located. That's why 100 years later, in 1941, the city built and dedicated the Dealey Plaza right here. It was named, of course, for the legendary publisher of the Dallas Morning News, George Bannerman Dealey, for his exemplary philanthropic and civic service to the city. And it was also a gateway for the city. Travelers would come from Fort Worth from the west and pass under the Triple Underpass and see a green dart framed by Art Deco structures. This site has tremendous historical significance to all of Dallas, but also due to the tragic events of the assassination of our president, the plaza also belongs to the nation as well. That's why it was designated, as Paul mentioned, a National Historic Landmark in 1993. To this day, millions of visitors now flock to this place in respect for our fallen president and to better understand the events that took place here 40 years ago. And it's also important that we're very good stewards of this historic plaza, not just for Dallas, but for all of the nation. So it's with great pleasure today that we break ground and launch the renovation of the Dealey Plaza. We'll be stripping away old layers of paint, repairing some of the cracks and the architectural elements, fixing the fountains, sidewalks, and curbs, and just making sure that this plaza is something that everyone in Dallas can be proud of. And it's also one that shows respect for the president who died here and for the important place that it holds in our city's history. These repairs and renovations will produce a site that I think everybody can be proud of and that shows that respect. And it's also a sacred place for our city. Now it's my pleasure to be able to introduce to you the Dallas Park and Recreation Board head, Tom Baker. Tom is my appointment. He has done a terrific job with the park board. We're seeing an awful lot of great things happen. And Tom, we just appreciate all of your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. You know, the Dallas, I think, has really greatly benefited from the investment we have in the park and recreation system. And the park system is overseen by the Dallas Park and Recreations Board. I'd like to point out a few of our board members in the audience. Gail Terrell, raise your hand, Gail. Joan Wall, Lee Kleinman, Taylor Brannon, and Wayne Smith. Glad to have you with us today. The board is committed to protecting and expanding our growing networks of parks and trails and green spaces, and also just as important in the preservation and restoration of our city's historic landmarks and attractions such as you see here at Dealey Plaza. You know, through the years, Dealey Plaza has quite frankly started showing its age. Several of us have that problem. But with more than 500,000 visitors at this site annually, it really became evident that the historic fabric of this site was deteriorating and threatened. So to prevent further deterioration and subsequent greater repair cost, restoration work was needed, and parts of the plaza's hardscape are having to be reconstructed. So the restoration of the plaza is really a direct response to the Downtown Parks Master Plan that was prepared in 2004 by Carter Burgess and Hargraves and Associates, and it was endorsed by the Downtown Parks Master Plan Steering Committee and also by downtown stakeholders. The scope of the restoration is going to involve some new paint. We're going to retrofit fountain basins such as this one over here with pipes to comply with current codes. We're going to repair cracks and fissures and the like with new state-of-the-art restoration materials. I think it's a good vision from where you're sitting to look at kind of the before over here on this side of the street and the after, even though this isn't finished yet, and get an idea of what's going to happen. The architectural elements you see behind us are going to be recoated with a new high-tech coating. We're going to have sidewalks and curbs that are going to be replaced and restore this entire plaza to one harmonious walking area. The construction cost will be about $844,000, and thanks to the citizens of Dallas, both the 2003 and 2006 bond programs will help fund these restorations. Now, downtown Dallas, headed by John Crawford, is a longtime partner with the city and are giving a $200,000 grant to the city for this project. In addition, I'd like to thank Paul Dyer, our Park Department Director, for his leadership in providing an outstanding leisure services and facilities to the citizens and the visitors of Dallas, such as what we're doing here. Also, I'd like to thank a couple of our talented staff in the Park Department, architects who are providing design and construction leadership on this project. Willis Winters, who's Assistant Director of Planning, Construction, and Design, and he couldn't be here today, and Lewis Elam, the Facility Development Manager. Lewis, are out here. And Trent Williams, our Senior Architect, doing a great job and going to bring this back to life for us and be something we'll really be proud of again as we get finished. Now let me introduce John Crawford, who's President and CEO of Downtown Dallas and a great partner on this and many projects in downtown for the city. John?
Thank you, Tom. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here for another important announcement for downtown Dallas. And as Tom mentioned, last year we were thrilled to be able to contribute $200,000 to the renovation of this landmark. Our donation was really part of an overall $1.25 million grant to the development and renovation of 5 downtown parks. We've also committed resources like our Dallas Safety Patrol that you see here today and our clean team, which is also here with us, to help ensure that all areas of downtown are clean and safe. These commitments represent basically our mission, if you will, to develop recreation and green space in the heart of downtown for our employees, residents, and visitors as downtown continues to grow as a multi-dimensional environment to live, work, and play, and invest, by the way. Projects like the renovation of Dealey Plaza are critical as we aim to preserve major landmarks that are significant in the history of our city and hopefully will be drawing more tourism as we go down the road. Very importantly, and this is very significant in all that we're doing today, is the importance of public-private partnerships. The renovations that we're talking about are representative of what can be done with these public-private partnerships, which are so important in the development of downtown today. And it is only through our partnership with the City of Dallas and others that projects like these happen. A year or so ago, when we made our $1.25 million grant to the parks, we made a challenge to the community to match the $200,000 that we put forth, and we're still seeking and asking people to step up and match that $200,000. So, Mayor, and all of you who have made today possible. We thank you. Our organization certainly pledges our continuing commitment to help to ensure to achieve our common vision of a vibrant and successful urban core. And with that, it's my pleasure to ask Nicola Longford, who's the Executive Director of Sixth Floor Museum at Dealey Plaza, to come forward and share some thoughts with you. Thank you very much. We appreciate your being here.
Good morning. On behalf of the Sixth Floor Museum at Dealey Plaza, I'm honored and pleased to take part in today's events. We have gathered at Dealey Plaza, the birthplace of our great city, to celebrate another beginning. Renovation of the Dealey Plaza, one of Dallas's most significant historic sites. This location has always conveyed a powerful sense of place. John Neely Bryan founded our city on this very spot. A century later, the city became a beautiful public park for motorists entering and leaving the downtown area of the city that George Bannerman Dealey so loved. Tragically, the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963 transformed Dealey Plaza from a welcoming gateway to an internationally recognized site of tragedy. For the past 45 years, people of all ages, nationalities, and backgrounds have visited Dealey Plaza. They come at all times of the day and night to remember, to reflect, and for many, to learn about an event that occurred long before they were born. Cooperation led to the construction of Dealey Plaza in 1941 and its designation as a National Historic Landmark District in 1993. Today, I applaud the efforts of Dallas citizens and businesses as we take the first step in ensuring that Dealey Plaza will retain its unique sense of place. Thank you.
Well, again, thanks to each and every one of you. This is an important advancement in our downtown area. I think now we're going to go over and we're actually going to do the equivalent of groundbreaking, and that's pour the concrete to start the effort.
Fire that sucker up.
Doing good so far.
Back here behind paper. Okay, now you y'all can go on over there and start spreading.
Oh, okay.
Any more now? Yeah. That might be a deal.
Where? Put a level on there. Put a level on there. Hurry, let's go, around, quick, let's go. Now that's just what I need for other supervisors. We're going to talk, get over here. Let's set up in a hurry, let's go. The other way down the supervisor, cheating a little bit here. I spent 6 years in college to get a 4-year degree to be able to supervise this.
Can I put it on my resume?
Never have that skill.
Put it on my resume.
Like baby.
Some of y'all doing it the first time, y'all doing a great job. All in the wheel.
Appreciate all of it.
Somebody else been trying to